Here's the 30-second lesson on what legends know. Never practice nunchucks in a crowded room. Never eat chole before a road trip. Always take your shirt off before you iron it. Don't take a call near a swimming pool. And don't forget, saving is not investing. Legends don't just save, they invest in mutual funds. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
A British Conservative Party leader is probably the last person an Indian opposition leader like Rahul Gandhi would like to listen to today. After all, the Tories turned prime ministership into a game of musical chairs until they were voted out in July. As they proceed to elect a new party leader to replace Rishi Sunak, they get a piece of advice from William Hague, the former leader of opposition in the House of Commons, who had led the Conservative Party from 1997 to 2001. In this episode of Politically Correct, I am tempted to borrow some of his ideas as they seem relevant to the principal opposition leader in India today, Rahul Gandhi. William Hague was elected a Conservative Party leader after its crushing defeat in the 97 general election. Well, he led the party to another debacle in the next election 4 years later. One can trust him on what an opposition party must not do. In an article titled Tories Will Find Great Dangers in Opposition, which was published in the Times on the 3rd of September, William Hague said that the next Tory leader must resist a host of temptations. First is the temptation to sound decisive by making policy commitments when it is either rash or too early to do so. And I quote him here: the next election is 4-5 years away. By then, the economy, Europe, and indeed the world might have changed. Unquote. Essentially, he suggested, although not in as many words, that an opposition party that hopes to be in power in future should be circumspect while making commitments. That is something Rahul Gandhi needs to think over. If the Congress had come to power in 2024 and implemented its manifesto, the total cost, as estimated by economists in a Business Today report, the total cost would have been 22 lakh crore per annum. That is around 85% of estimated net tax receipts of about 26 lakh crore in 2024-25. It would have been a prescription for fiscal mess. Any party that hoped to form the next government would not come out with such a manifesto. That is, if the party also hoped to get more than one term in power. The Congress Party's manifesto obviously had defeatism written all over it. With a coalition government in place and the gap between Prime Minister Narendra Modi's and Rahul Gandhi's popularity ratings shrinking, the Congress must listen to William Hague about not making rash policy pronouncements. For instance, Congress that was initially criticizing the faulty rollout of GST is beginning to sound like a GST skeptic, promising GST 2.0 and one exemption after another. The Congress and its allies are gung-ho about the caste census. It has certainly put the Narendra Modi government on the back foot and prompted the RSS to endorse it. But the opposition should desist from projecting caste census as a panacea for all socio-economic inequalities. So far as we know about the Congress Party's plan, it entails reservation in proportion with the population, breaching the 50% ceiling, ensuring representation to underprivileged communities at the highest echelon of power, say as secretaries to the government of India. We don't know any further about Congress Party's plan. Is that good enough, given how the Congress is promising the moon to OBCs through the caste census? Would the Congress, when in power, start allocating resources for each caste and subcaste? Will it implement private sector reservation? I mean, what else? In its haste or desperation to counter Narendra Modi and his politics, the opposition looks unmindful of the unintended consequences of conjuring Mandal 2. That is just one example. A party that aspires to return to power and rule the country for long has to have a plan to deal with such consequences while presenting an alternative agenda of governance to the people. In the Times article, William Hague said that if Labour Party's poll ratings languish, it is Reform UK, a right-wing populist party, that will for the moment flourish. He cautioned the Conservative Party leadership against the other temptation, a strong urge to ape Reform UK's policies, adopt its assertions, and indulge in populism. And I'm quoting Hague here. But that will not bring the rebuilding of a competent party of government with broad appeal to new generation of voters, unquote. In the context of a third alternative in India, one can think of the Aam Aadmi Party, although it does not necessarily fit in the right-wing category in terms of its stated policies at least. Hague's advice has come a wee bit late for the Congress though. The party has already fully adopted the Aam Aadmi Party's politics of freebies, so much so that even Modi's BJP has avidly embraced what he used to denounce as reveries. Rahul Gandhi must pay attention to Hague here. This is not the way to rebuild a competent party of government. The former Conservative Party leader mentioned a few other temptations that he said Rishi Sunak's successor as Conservative Party leader must resist, but they might not be very pertinent to Rahul Gandhi. I would rather drop a list of other temptations that a Congress leader should not yield to. To start with, Rahul Gandhi should not look at Lok Sabha results as a thumping endorsement of his politics. The Congress has regained some ground in some states, but it should also thank the BJP's politics and governance for that. The Congress and its allies gained 41 seats along Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra routes, as per an analysis by the Indian Express. His Kanyakumari to Kashmir Bharat Jodo Yatra covered 71 Lok Sabha seats across 12 states and 2 union territories. The Congress won 23 of the 56 seats it contested along this route, Bharat Jodo Yatra route, in 2024 election, as against 15 out of 65 in 2019. So a gain of 8 seats when the party contested 9 seats less. The India bloc allies won 6 out of 14 seats they contested in 2024, as against 2 out of 4 in 2019. Of course, India bloc was not there then. The Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra, the second leg of the Yatra, covered 82 Lok Sabha seats. The Congress won 17 of the 49 seats it contested along its route, as against 6 out of 71 in 2019. So a gain of 11 seats when the party contested 22 seats less. The India bloc won 18 out of 33 seats they contested in 2024. Evidently, Rahul Gandhi's 2 yatras did pay electoral dividends, and he has reasons to be pleased with their success. But he still has a lot more ground to cover. A closer look at the Express analysis offers a reality check. The Yatra did not have any impact in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. The Congress lost the 2 seats that the Yatra covered in Andhra Pradesh. It covered 7 seats in Telangana, out of which the Congress had won just 1 in 2019. The result was the same in 2024 too. Similarly, the 2 Yatras had no electoral impact in Delhi, Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, West Bengal, Odisha, and Chhattisgarh in terms of gains in seats compared to 2019. The states through which the Yatras passed and where the Congress did well were Maharashtra, Rajasthan, UP, and Bihar, among others. But these states were also the ones where many other factors were in play, ranging from the opposition's compact alliance to the ruling party's coalition troubles, internecine wars in the BJP, and lack of support from the RSS on the ground for turncoat candidates, among many other regions. Now, I'll come to the fourth temptation Rahul Gandhi needs to resist, and that is to look at the results as the success of his social engineering politics, especially the push for caste census. Even Yogendra Yadav, a big advocate of the caste census, has conceded that the 2024 election, and I quote, did not see any major shift in the voting preferences of major social groups at a national level, unquote. On the other hand, the BJP retained its core vote among the upper caste and middle class Hindus and EBCs, extremely backward classes, and added to its lead among the Adivasis. Yogendra Yadav wrote in ThePrint. It's also validated by the fact that the Congress's vote share has remained virtually constant in the last three Lok Sabha elections. It secured 21.19% votes in the 24 election, an increase of 1.7 percentage point compared to 2019. Chest thumping and back patting in the opposition camp is, however, way out of proportion to this increase. The fifth temptation Gandhi should resist is to treat the India bloc partners as permanent friends. The fact is that most of them have come up and grown at the cost of the Congress. A common enemy, the BJP, has brought them together, but they are Rahul Gandhi's friends only as long as the BJP remains a big threat. The Congress still remains enemy number two for most of them. If the Congress aspires to regain its old glory, it has to come at the cost of these India bloc partners sooner than later. That's all from me in this episode of Politically Correct. Thanks for watching.